Was no longer about the 2% inflation threshold. I've only got a few moments, and I'm going to cede my time to Mr. Poilievre, who I think has a question he wants to get in.
We will have another round as well, Mr. Kelly, but go ahead, Mr. Poilievre. You got about 3 minutes.
Yes. Mr. Governor, let me tell you that it gives me no comfort whatsoever that you are indemnified by the Government of Canada. That means that the taxpayer has to pick up any losses you have. And Mr. Kelly's question was a good one. You're buying these bonds at inflated prices because, of course, you've inflated them by pumping $400 billion into markets. As interest rates return to normal, those bond prices go down because, of course, bond prices are inversely correlated with rates of interest. In other words, you would be in a financial loss position on those bonds. And we're talking about almost $500 billion worth of bonds and treasuries here. How much would the bank lose if interest rates over the medium term return to normal levels?
As I said in the previous question, if you hold them to maturity, you're not going to realize that loss. I think what you need to keep in mind is that we don't run monetary policy to maximize our revenue. We run monetary policy to support the Canadian economy and bring inflation back to target.
Right.
That's the goal of monetary policy.
Right.
And that's what guides us in our decisions.
So you say that if you just keep holding on to these bonds until they mature, you won't have a capital gain or loss, which is of course true, but you'll have a loss every single year as the interest rates you have to pay your depositors under normal circumstances rises above the amount that you're collecting from the Government of Canada, which means you would be in an annual loss position. And as you admitted earlier on, that loss is borne by the Canadian taxpayer. If you're paying your depositors a higher rate of interest, as you would be under normal interest rate levels, then you're collecting from the Government of Canada on the treasuries and bonds you hold. You're losing money every year, and taxpayers are picking up the cost. Explain to us why we should be comforted at all that you're holding all of this stuff when the losses that you incur are all passed on to our taxpayers.
The Bank of Canada normally makes money. If you look back, it's made money every year. Because we earn the seigniorage on the currency that we produce, and our expenses are only use up a part of that seigniorage, we remit a check every quarter to the Government of Canada.
Would that be the case if interest rates rose?
It's very difficult to provide, forecasts against a whole series of hypotheticals here.
Okay, we're going to end that round there on the hypotheticals for the moment, and we'll be back to it with Mr. Poilievre in the next round.